Maybe I should go to that new gym today, but I don't know, because I feel like I'm just gonna look stupid not knowing how to use the equipment. I need to get ready to go out tonight anyway. But what if they don't like the dress I got? I really don't know if it suits me. No, actually, I'm too scared what they're gonna think. Imagine if I just didn't care. I could be who I want to be, do what I want to do, and just not worry as much. Do you ever stop yourself from doing something because you're worried about what other people are going to think? Whether it's that gym membership sign up tab that's still open on your phone, or the party that you didn't go to because you were busy. You might be surprised to hear this, but caring about what other people think isn't actually the issue, because caring about others' feelings and their well-being is a good thing. The issue is what you do or don't do in response, and the power that you give to other people's negativity. Speaking from experience, it's so sad when you're constantly second-guessing yourself and letting what other people think of you block you from taking that next step to get towards your goals or grow into the person that you're meant to be. But the good news is, as we go through each section of this video, you'll gain all the tools you need to find out who's actually judging you, overcome the fear of what people will think, and finally have the freedom to level up in life. First, we actually need to understand why we care so much. Caring about what others think of us isn't something we're born with, but it's something that we develop pretty quickly. Because think about it, when you're born, the first few years of your life, you're completely dependent on the adults in your life for your survival. We can't provide food for ourselves, we can't talk, we can't walk, but from the get-go, we start to find ways to become accepted by others so that they can give us what we want or need to survive. And it all stems from two of our fundamental needs of acceptance and control. So since both of those are sort of wired in as part of our survival instincts, our brain interprets the fear of judgment as a threat to our social belonging. And then that translates subconsciously to other situations, like feeling anxious in the gym because of what other people are thinking of you. There's a hard truth about judgment, but first we need to figure out who's actually judging you, and we can do that by looking at this phenomenon called the spotlight effect. In psychology, the spotlight effect is where we think that other people are paying more attention to us than they actually are. You know when you mess up in a conversation and say something stupid, and then you go around the rest of the day thinking, I wish I hadn't said that. Meanwhile, everyone else had probably forgotten what you said anyway and just got on with the rest of their day. That's the spotlight effect. In reality, most people don't think about you as much as you think about you, and they're busy being the main character of their own life. That comment someone made about you, they've probably forgotten it. That embarrassing moment that you keep replaying, no one else remembers it. If as a teenager you were hiding in your room doing ab workouts because you were scared of what your parents were going to think of you, why is that? They probably won't think it's as big of a deal as you thought they would. If you're scared to start the gym because you think people will judge you, even just the thought of you thinking that is you judging yourself. So why are you okay with that? I'm speaking to my younger self here, but girl, even though it might feel like it, the world does not revolve around you, and that is a good thing, because when you realize that, it suddenly takes a whole lot of pressure off trying to show up in a way that pleases absolutely everyone, because 99% of the time they're way more focused on themselves than they are about you. But here's the hard truth. There will be people who judge you, but only the people who are doing less than you. Think about it. Have you ever judged someone that you look up to? Probably not. We see how they show up or what they've achieved, and we want to learn from them. So if someone's criticizing your choices or making nasty comments, then chances are they've got their own insecurities that they're trying to deal with. However, when you're making a change to produce some sort of growth in your life, you will likely get comments from the people closest to you, and those are often the ones that can hit deep. When I started my fitness journey, I got a lot of comments, mostly from family members, and I know they were often out of genuine love and concern, but they were still difficult to deal with. I got comments like, make sure you don't lift too heavy or you'll look manly. Don't go to the gym, you're just gonna hurt yourself. You'll just end up looking like a stick with blobs. And yeah, that was a genuine comment. And then since I started out skinny, whenever I was purposefully trying to eat more, I got comments like, why do you eat so much? I wonder why. When I was trying to include more variety in my diet and my parents knew that I hadn't liked that food before, they would say things like, you don't like Rice Krispies, why are you eating Rice Krispies? And that really got in my head because it made me question why I was even making the change in the first place. It's so subtle how big this fear about caring what other people think actually is. And especially when it's the people closest to you who are making these kind of comments, it can throw you off your entire journey and your entire process of aiming to become the best version of yourself. It can keep you stagnant and stop you pursuing your goals. And that is seriously gonna hold you back from growing as a person. But the issue isn't actually what other people think, because we can't control what other people think, say, or do. The issue is what you do or don't do, and the power that you give to those people's negative thoughts. There's a few practical steps that completely transformed my ability to deal with other people's opinions on my own journey. But first, we need to talk about the cost of caring too much. If I had never started the gym, you would not be watching this video right now. I know it might seem unconnected, but before I started my fitness journey and the process of bettering myself, I did not have the confidence to show up on camera or make content. I did not have the confidence to put myself out there at all until 1 year into my fitness journey. And even then, I was so scared to do it because of what other people would think of me. If I'd continued to constantly obsess over what other people would think about me and my content, then I would never have made that first post. On top of that, I'd probably still be thinking about where I could have been if I'd actually started when I was in the decision phase. And now I'd be living with that regret and the pain of knowing that my life could have looked so different if only I'd not listened to all of my insecurities. And that way of living is so draining. You might have similar opportunities that you've missed out on because of that fear of judgment. Maybe it was skipping a social event, or not going to that job interview because you thought you weren't good enough, or not starting the gym because you're scared of people judging you because you don't know how to use the equipment yet. I want you to shift your focus and seriously ask yourself, how will I feel about myself 3 months from now if I do or do not take action? Let's be honest, not starting the gym today isn't going to be the end of the world. But if you keep doing that whenever the opportunity comes up, you're subconsciously reinforcing that belief that you're not good enough. You're doing yourself, your health, and your personal growth a disservice because you're not even giving yourself the chance to step out of your comfort zone, and that is how you become stagnant in life. You don't need to do any massive grand gestures like going to the gym 5 days a week for an hour every session. You can literally start with 15 minutes once a week. It's the small actions that add up and build momentum as well as confidence over time. We seriously underestimate the power of pursuing our goals, because when you pursue your goals, you will be inspiring someone else to start theirs. You might not think about this, but your courage, your determination, your perseverance, your optimism, your faith, they won't go unnoticed. When you pursue your goals, you become the kind of person who can make a massive impact on the world, who teaches, who inspires, who motivates other people to make a change in their own lives. Even if you're at the very start of your journey and think you have nothing to offer that would ever help anyone, when you take that first step to start the gym or go for that job interview, you automatically become equipped to help the person who is one step behind you, who has no idea how they're ever going to be able to take that first step. So in order to practically combat our fear of what other people are going to think of us, we need to reframe that fear. The issues start to come up when we give too much power to other people's negativity. And the only way we can combat this is if we work on building our own self-awareness. I'm not kidding when I say I used to have zero self-awareness. I would literally show up without doing my hair, without having showered for like a week, because at that point in my life I literally had zero motivation for anything. I was honestly just trying to survive in life, and that is an absolutely terrible way to live your life. So we can build that self-awareness and confidence by identifying our values and solidifying our goals. So I want you to grab a piece of paper, a notebook, your journal, or just the notes app on your phone, because writing these steps down and doing it as sort of a daily exercise is going to do leaps and bounds for your self-awareness. The first thing to ask yourself is, what am I doing today that aligns with my future self? Next, you're going to write down one quality that you want to show more of today that aligns with that future version of yourself. This can be anything from being more intentional, being someone who compliments others regularly, or the kind of person who always seems to be able to remain patient no matter how frustrating the situation might be. And I want you to write down 2 or 3 actions you're going to do that day to actively show that quality. I also want you to write down a list of your values and the reasons why you're about to commit to taking the next step on your journey. If that's starting the gym, are you doing it because if you don't do it now, then your health's going to keep getting worse and you're making it harder for your future self to actually start? Or if that's going for the job interview, are you doing it because the job you're in right now is draining the life out of you absolutely every single day? Once you've written all that down, this is going to act as your power bank. So whenever those negative comments come up, remind yourself of your values and your reasons why. And this is going to equip you to reframe your mindset to, if they think that, then that's their opinion and that's on them. You can't control what other people will think, say, or do, but you can control how you respond. A lot of people forget this, but you can control your reaction to literally any situation in life because you have control over your mind. You have to release the need to control what you inherently can't. For example, if someone leaves a negative comment on your social media that you're not happy about, block them. They're not worth your time. If they're the kind of person who goes around leaving hate comments on other people's posts for fun, that says a lot more about them than it does about you. I'm pretty sure you can even filter out nasty comments, so you don't even have to see them in the first place. If a family member criticizes or questions your choices, listen to them respectfully, but remind yourself of why you started. Now, it's all well and good if you're watching these kind of videos and you might feel super motivated right now, at least I hope you feel super motivated, but I can sit here and tell you this all day, but if you don't actually take action, then you're never going to change anything. So as your commitment to taking that first step on the journey and to stop letting what other people think of you blocking you from reaching your goals, I want you to write one thing in the comments that you can do today that your future self will thank you for. Writing it in the comments is you confirming to yourself that you're not going to give the power to other people's negative thoughts and you are actually going to take those steps to go and become the best version of yourself. So I hope that was helpful. If you're just starting the gym and you want some practical steps on how to get started, how to get into it, what exercises to do and stuff like that, I've made a whole video for you that you can check out here. And I love you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.